Hello and welcome back, boys and girls. And so, in true beautiful ashes fashion, today's episode we're talking about the two main types of expert businesses. All right. Now, so before we go any further, it's important to note that there are two main types of expert businesses. Now, they both look a lot alike on the surface, at least. But the principle behind each of them is basically the same, and that is true for some level of extent. Though there are some nitty-gritty details of each that where there's some differences that start manifest themselves, especially when you start moving on later on in the growth of the expert business model. Now, so by the end of this episode, you should know what kind of expert business you're trying to start, and what type of expert businesses that you're going to be building during this journey. So, without further ado, buckle up, get yourself a hot cup of coffee or a cold drink of wine, or whatever it is that suits your fancy, because in the next few minutes, we'll be diving deep. So one of the first ones is, I like to call it the startup. And this is the one that this channel is kind of modeling, so to speak. And so this is where, we're going on with this channel, the kind of the goal of this channel, and whereby I'm here, you hear me, your host, Tom, sharing the lessons that I've learned, the lessons that I'm learning in the past 6 years of having worked online in different capacities. And so basically, I'm just inviting you on, think of it like a documentary. Like how you watch Discovery Channel, then you find, a photographer or a videographer is following, a lion as it grows up and whatnot. So think about it the same way. This is kind of a channel whereby I'm just giving you guys a documentary and, just a pair of eyes to follow me along as we go on this journey to see, what all this expert business is all about. And so now I'll probably package at some point in the future, probably a year from now or more, even shorter, I'll probably package some of the lessons that I've learned into a book, a course, a coaching, or a consulting, or some kind of information product that I'm going to be selling it to you lot. But don't worry, the main information is going to be free on the channel, on the podcast. So if you want to find it, you can find it. But probably later on, I'll be selling to you guys that information, because after all, I'm not here to just give away free information. I also need to make money, but I'll not hold anything back. That's it. Now, so as far as the startup costs are concerned, they are pretty minimal when it comes to the startup formula or the startup model of the expert business model. So you got very little startup costs. In fact, I'm even recording using my phone. I'm just going to be uploading all these episodes on my YouTube. Now, there are plenty of people who've done the same thing that I'm doing, and so I'm not creating anything new. I'm not doing something fresh or something new, brand new. No. And in fact, that is one of the worst mistakes that people make in businesses that I came to learn is you don't start a business when there is no market. You start a business where there is existing competition and there's an existing market, because it's going to take you a lot of time and money to create that market when there is none. So I'm just going to leave that one there. And so as far as startup costs are concerned, pretty minimal. I'm recording this on my phone. I'm going to be uploading them on YouTube as where you're listening from. And then, there are plenty of people who've done the same thing I'm pretty much doing, and they're just following the same framework. And so now the only difference is the difference comes in terms of the personality, the character, the times of the know, like, trust. There's kind of the stories that you share, the relatability between you and your audience. So that's where kind of, you kind of find the difference starting to show itself, whereby you can able to differentiate yourself from other people or other vendors or other creators in the market. And so pretty much, so don't worry about, there's already other people who are already doing what you want to do in the market. Don't worry about that. Okay, so basically you're trying to do is you're going to create a unique audience that kind of likes you. Okay, so it's pretty much, think about it, like how many musicians are there in the market right now? How many hip hop artists, how many, pop artists, how many R&B singers are there in the market right now? And yet they all make their own money. They still produce the same love songs and the same hate songs or the same diss songs, but they still make their money. And so that kind of goes to show you it's usually behind the personality that kind of sells the whole idea. And so don't worry about, having competition. Don't worry about other people being there. Just know that you by yourself are unique. And so am I. And so the stories that I have, the experiences that I have, they're all unique. It's like everybody has their own fingerprint when it comes to the market. And so you'll be able to identify with whoever they feel drawn to. And so don't worry about that one. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of people who've done the same thing that I'm doing, so that you can, kind of just to give you the reassurance and, kind of like to back it up with evidence, because, others I'm just tooting my own horn. And so one of the guys I like to mention is Neil Patel. Now, for most of you guys, if you're in the internet marketing space, you know Neil Patel you know who Neil Patel who he is. So he started Quick Sprout, I think about 10, maybe a decade or so ago, but he started Quick Sprout. And he didn't start as a major, kind of online business guru that he is right now. He started off as a nobody with a tiny blog called Quick Sprout, if I'm not wrong, where he used to share, just internet marketing, where he used to share internet marketing advices and how-to guides and tutorials on his blog called Quick Sprout. But then he did that consistently over so many years that he started making some noise in this huge internet market or in this huge internet. And so now he went on and became, and so as he kept doing his thing, publishing articles on his blog, Quick Sprout, as he did that consistently over so many years, he built up his expertise, and now he's known for when it comes to any sort of internet marketing advice. You can find him on his website called Neil Patel. And more than that, he has also a software company. He has grown in terms of net worth into a huge company right now, and he's called to speak in multiple speaking engagements and online marketing forums all over the world. So just one example. Another one is called Matthew Woodward. Now, this guy is, you can find him on matthewwoodward.co.uk. I started following this guy when he didn't even have any followers. I don't even know how I came across his website or his blog, but I started following this guy when he was a nobody. And I watched him, and the beauty about this guy was he used to publish his monthly earnings from his blog on his website each and every month. And so you would find that every single month he would publish, I watched him go from $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month in recurring revenue on his blog each and every single month. And what he did he was just basically sharing the same thing that I'm doing, just sharing the knowledge that he was acquiring, sharing his experiences, having put the knowledge that he's acquired into practice and find out what works and what doesn't work. And so that's what he's been doing with this expert business model. And so there are other people like Brian Deed of Backlinko. He used to work for Neil Patel before he branched on his own. So he founded Backlinko, and now he's also make a ton of money. It's not about the money, but now he shares how people can use the tips and the strategies and the techniques that they can use to rank their websites higher on Google. And so you've got Brian Dean, you've got Entrepreneur on Fire. This guy is one of the top, he's one of the head honchos in the industry, because what happens is he has a podcast called EOF, or Entrepreneur on Fire, where he makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a month from his blog. Just go and check it out and you see the latest. And he also publishes his income earnings per month on his blog, and so you can just go and check it out quickly and you'll see what I'm talking about. Another guy I'm just going to give you another guy is called another website is called Smart Passive Income, whereby it talks about the various ways and methods of making money online. I think the founder is called Pat Flynn or something like that, and he started off as a nobody as well. He was just publishing the things that he was learning after testing it out and finding what works and what doesn't. And so what he did is built up a huge following, and now he makes a ton of money and become an industry expert when it comes to making money online. Now, among other things. And so basically the same formula that I'm following, that this guy is using, is the same formula that I'm following. But the difference is, at the time they didn't know, or they couldn't put it, they didn't have a blueprint. And so I'm hoping that one of the goals of this channel is I can create a blueprint whereby you can follow along. And if you follow the steps that I'm following along step by step, because I'm the one who's taking the risk right now, you can just sit back and watch, but I'm the one who's taking the risk right now. And because I have nothing to lose right now. And so I'm taking the risk right now as I'm doing this step by step. I just hope that one of you guys can just follow along the steps that I'm taking, because I'll be sharing everything. I'm not going to hide even a single thing. So I'm just going to be sharing everything step by step. And then we can see where we are going to be from, where we're going to be like from a year from now, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, even 10 years from now. Let's see how far this thing can go. And now one thing that you notice with all these guys is the dedication to consistency. They were persistent. They did not give up, even when they did not see results, even when they didn't have subscribers, even when nobody listened to them. And I'm reminded of the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. One of the stories, I had it by, what's his name? Les Brown, yes, the motivational speaker called Les Brown. And he was talking about the Chinese bamboo tree. So if you haven't had the story, be sure to go and look it up. It's an incredible video, and it's going to be highly motivating. So what happens with the Chinese bamboo tree is, when you plant it and then you start watering it, of course you don't expect it to grow on the first day. But here's the thing about the Chinese bamboo tree. You have to water it each and every single day. And the first month you will see nothing. Nothing will come, not even a little shoot. But what is happening is it's building underneath, it's building the roots. And then you happen the second month, the third month, the fourth month, the fifth, the 10th. 1 year, 2 years, and still nothing. You still see nothing, but you cannot give up watering that tree. And this is kind of like the test of time, or the test of how bad do you really want it. Because here's the thing. As you're there watering it, your neighbors are going to come, people around you are going to come and ask you, hey, what are you doing here? Why do you keep on watering, a patch of ground that has nothing? You are going to come here and try to distract you and to get you to go back to what you are doing because you're not seeing the results that you kind of hope to see. And so what happens here is you need to keep going. And so that's what the value of consistency is. Because you see, here's the thing about this Chinese bamboo tree. The first year you will see nothing. The second year you will see nothing. The third year you will see nothing. The fourth year you will see nothing. But on the fifth year, the end of the fifth year, that Chinese bamboo tree is going to sprout up because it's going to grow hundreds or tens and hundreds of meters in a single week. And so this is the same thing that you're doing here with this podcast. And so I pretty much don't expect. I'm hoping, yes, I'll see the results. And I like all positivity, and I'm proclaiming, yes, I will see the results. But here's the thing. My goal is not just this little, this little pat on your back kind of model. The goal here is the person that I'm going to become as I'm doing this. And so I'm hoping to be consistent for the next 5 years at minimum, so that I can see where this blog is going to go, where this channel is going to go. And so I invite you, I challenge you to make the same commitment. As you start a podcast, you start a channel, as you start a YouTube channel, whatever it is you're going to start, whether it's on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, as you start it, my goal here, the biggest thing that I want you to focus on is being consistent. Not doing it perfectly every single time, not making, it's not like a roster whereby you have to check in your name, you have to sign your name every single day, but do it consistently enough every single day. Okay? Now, so basically now where we are right now is, if you haven't caught up, right, you still haven't caught up, this is your first time here, be sure to pick a topic that you're passionate about, or even remotely interested in, study it, learn and develop yourself. So basically you're trying to improve yourself. The same thing that happens with bodybuilders. They go to the gym, what they do is they study. They go and do, bench presses, they see it doesn't work. They do hammer curls, they see it works, so it doesn't work. They do squats, and they do it consistently over a long period of time, and that is when they start getting results. And because of what they've been doing, because of their testing and the experimental, basically they're doing research, and as they test and they experiment, they find out what works. And once they do that, you can share your progress online. The same thing that I'm doing here. So even as I test and experiment, I'm sharing what works and what doesn't work. And I'm not going to hide anything from you guys. I'm just going to give you I'm not going to hide anything from you boys and girls. I'm just going to give you everything as it is, the raw form of everything that I'm doing. I am tired of gurus hiding information behind $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 paycheck. And once you pay, you just find out it's the same old garbage that people just keep regurgitating over and over again. And so I got tired of that and decided that I'm going to start something that is going to be sustainable, is going to last a long, and I'm going to give it all for free. You're only going to pay for my time. Okay? And so basically, what we're doing, like I mentioned at the start of this video, on the start of this episode, basically what we're doing here is documenting my journey. And in a later video we'll talk about sharing expert knowledge, even though you're not there yet like I am, and how contribution is going to be the key to your growth, and the process of sharing this and how it helps you become the person that you're supposed to be. And so the beauty of, I think I kind of digress. So the beauty of the startup is that you go through the journey that the people you're called to help in the future are going to go through. And it's one of the best places to start. So you start from scratch with no name, or if you have some experience, great. If you don't have any experience, great. With no contacts, with no list, with no marketing knowledge, no sales knowledge, with nothing. And so you're just going to grow. It's a discovery journey whereby you're going to learn, and you're going to share what works and what doesn't work, what worked for you and what doesn't work for you. And this is the whole point of the startup journey, whereby it's a new experience. It's like going to a new country for the first time, whereby you're going to share, okay, so you found out this new currency, the type of food that they eat, the difference, the culture shock and all that. You're basically going to document the journey. And that's all. That's what the startup is all about when it comes to the two types of expert businesses. Well, thank you guys for listening. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys in the comments below. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, whether my voice was good or it was bad, just let me know. Any kind of feedback is feedback at all. So I accept any kind of feedback, and be sure not to hold back. After all, I just want the truth so that I can help kind of produce the best kind of information for you guys that you can benefit from. And then, my satisfaction come in the fulfillment of knowing that you guys were helped and you would become something of yourselves. And so thank you so much for listening. Thank you for giving me your time. And, I look forward to hearing from you guys in the next video. Bye.